Okay, I moved the camera way back to make sure that we could show the extruder itself and where I'm working. I think I have everything in the frame. If not, I'll give myself a do-over. But I got the extruder cleaned up and ready to go. It had clay in the barrel from yesterday, day before. Cleaned off a little bit of this junk off the plunger plate and basically did a rough cleaning to the whole extruder so that I wouldn't have a bunch of dry clay getting in my way. So I think it's ready to go. So now, without overdoing this, I'm going to put the filler up in here. Got it up in there. I can hold it with one hand while I anchor it at the corner with one. I did this in the other demonstration too. I get it held in place with one of the clamps. Now I'm free to attach the others. And when I'm using this filler, like I showed you, this modification, you might remember from the first video, I showed how by necessity this C-clamp had to go on upside down so that it would fit inside to hold the die adapter like Bailey sells it. And he had all this hanging down. So by using the die adapter plate in my filler, I'm allowed to use these this way and I have less obstruction down at the bottom. So that's kind of a plus for using the filler made in such a way that you can use the die adapter plate in it. But again, to do that, I had to make some modifications that are pretty much permanent. Now, I don't want to go into this at length, but I could have built a filler box and done a little carpentry work, done some routing and such, so that the Bailey die adapter plate could fit in there without modification, without all the sawing and everything that I did to it. If I had more time, I would have done that, I think. I didn't really like the idea that I had to mutilate the Bailey's die adapter plate. And if you have the wherewithal to do that kind of work, and if you're interested in building one of these, get in touch with me and we can talk specs and what have you. But suffice it to say, I made it work. You saw me adding the tape and such. And fundamentally, I have this thing ready to go. I talked back about using this thing. I hope you can see that in the frame. But using this stopper. With the modification I made, this stopper was designed so that with the die cross member sitting up inside here, you had to have that so you didn't have the plunger blade hitting it. By using the die adapter plate in my filler box, it brings the die down a little bit. I actually have more capacity. And if you're careful, you could go through your extruding without this in place, but you have to be careful that you don't keep going down such that you're going to damage something inside. So that's what that's all about. But with this modification, you get some added benefits. Now, we're ready for some extruding. And I don't want to make this segment too long. I'm trying to keep these files small enough. So I'm going to stop right now. I may merge these together, but for now I'm going to stop it and then get ready with the clay going in. So I'll be right back. I promise.